I want to talk about wide pitch the neck. Now, the reason would be, let's say we had the guitar set up and the saddles were all the way down to the bridge here, to the plate. Where the hell am I? To the bridge. Saddles were all the way down. And yet the action was high. Now the way you could compensate, the way you would fix that, is if you changed the neck angle and pitched it back more, you'd have to raise the saddles. So you see, you can get the same height in different angles. If the saddles are all the way down the bridge and the neck is straight, you get the same amount of distance between the string and the fret as if the saddles are up and the neck is pitched back more. It's just changing the neck angle. It's not changing the height. Now, neck angle is important for a lot of reasons. It can make guitars feel completely different. If a neck angle is straight and a neck angle is pitched back, you play the same guitar both ways, it's going to feel completely different. Another reason this is important, because in any adjustment you make on a guitar, you want to be able to go both ways. You want to be able to go tighter, looser, higher, lower. You always want to have it where you're not limited to only one direction, like a truss rod that won't tighten enough, or a truss rod that tightens too much and you can't back it off. Or you don't want to have the bridge saddle all the way down. You want to be able to raise it and lower it. Now, if it's all the way down, like I said, if it's all the way down and the string height is too high, what would you do? You can't lower it anymore, but yet your action's still high. Well, if you pitch the neck back, it'll make it come closer to the strings. It'll raise the fingerboard. And then you could even raise this up. So it's that in-between you're looking for on any adjustment. Same with pickup height. It's the in-between that you're looking for. Okay, I have the neck back on the guitar. Now I'm going to string it. Start with the low E string. Have the eyes straight in the pegs. Pass it through. Wind up all the eyes straight so you can see the string pass right through it. Here I'm going to go 2 pegs past. On a guitar with all 6 on the same side, go like 2 pass. You could even go 2.5 pass. Bring it back. Go underneath the string, up and over. And wind under. Make sure all the winds are under the one before it. Now I will say that I think tying knots like this is more important on a tremolo guitar than a non-trem, but it can't hurt on anything. Again, underneath, up and over. Take a cutter, cut off the excess. Take your tuner, tune to pitch. Just remember, always tune to pitch before you make any adjustment. Okay, now we're going to move on to neck relief. So I'm going to take my Allen wrench. This adjustment is up here. Putting the Allen wrench in. And if I turn it towards the camera or go counterclockwise, it's going to loosen it. So I'm going to put the extreme amount of relief in it for you first. Okay, that's totally loose. Now this nut you could take out, but don't. So we have the extreme amount of relief. I don't know if you can see it. So that means that the bow is at its biggest. Magically, this ruler appeared, the straight edge. Now what I'm going to try and show you with it is what I'm trying to explain to you with the neck. As I loosen the truss rod nut, the neck is going to bow, meaning it's going to move this way. If I tighten it, it's going to move back this way. If I over tighten it, I'm going to create a back bow and the neck's going to move this way. So again, straight, loosen it, it's going to create a bow. Straight, tighten it, it's going to create a back bow. Now you don't want too much of either. You want it to be a happy medium. You want it to be where the guitar plays its best. Again, you can't get into trouble loosening it or creating a bow. You can even take it off. But you can get into trouble tightening it too much, because then you're forcing all the pressure on it. See, the natural, let me put it to you this way. The natural bow is created by the string, so that when you loosen that rod and all the tension's off it, the pressure of the strings is naturally making the guitar bow this way. The truss rod's to fight against that. It's to pull it back straight, or to over tighten it and create a back bow. If you create too much of the back bow, you can break the truss rod or break the nut off the truss rod. That's what I don't want you to do. That's the only place you can really get in trouble. So don't over tighten it too much. Loosening it, no problem. Don't over tighten it. I can't stress that enough. Okay, I'm going to set up this guitar, and the first thing I'm going to do is the first adjustment, which is always neck relief. So the neck is too loose. I'm going to tighten it up. This one you tighten with an Allen wrench from up here in the headstock. So I'm going to put it where I want it. Remember, you can't hurt it by loosening it, but you can hurt it by tightening it too much. Okay, so now I have the neck where I want it. Next thing I'm going to do is talk about pitching the neck angle again, which this guitar definitely needs. And how I know that is the bridge saddles are all the way down, and yet the strings are really high off the frets. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pitch the neck to create an angle to bring this up a little bit, so I could raise the saddles up off the bridge, off the plate of the bridge, okay, because each one is an individual adjustment on this guitar. So remember, always tune the guitar to pitch. Let me check that quick.